It's funny, in all of the tutorials I've seen, animators don't really talk about this. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. I've seen other artists, other animators, their tutorials, but in everything I've seen, one key aspect of animation gets glossed over. Some people call it breaking up your animation, but the proper name is layer separation. And it's easy to gloss over this aspect because it is almost intuitive to most artists and animators. It can make or break an animator, new or veteran, and it can affect the time you take on a project. A bit on the nose, but layer separation is the phase in animation where you divide aspects of your project, drawing the eyes, nose, face, mouth, or even articles of clothing on their own layers and animating or coloring them separately. A common misconception is that animators draw everything on one or two layers, and then people who are new to animation or aren't as experienced become discouraged because they feel they're taking too long, or because they are overwhelmed by all the details they're drawing on one or three layers. On average, one character model can have anywhere from 7 to 12 layers that can make up their body, maybe even more when you account for shadows or smaller movements. Inbetweening, the process of animating the multiple frames between keyframes, has its own multi-phase process. And I'm not one to rehash old videos, but you have the rough pass or first pass in inbetweening where you get down the basic motion of the character. That is the focal point of the animation that is detailed in the storyboard. Then you have the final pass, which is getting the final line art and preparing for coloring. Between your rough pass and final pass is where you have the second and third pass. And in some instances, whether through mastery or habit, some animators tend to blend their layer separation phase with their final pass. The B-roll for this video is me doing my layer separation. It's the second pass where you start accounting for details and adding aspects of the character models. It's also where you account for the smaller or more so subtle aspects of your animation. A character flinching from a blow, inhaling and exhaling, the billowing of hair or the body. If you were to only animate on one layer, you would have to redraw the entire body and keep it consistent, only to shift one aspect slightly. And it would take you even longer to finish your project as a whole. It's something I hinted at in my timing chart and animating on ones, twos, and threes video a few years ago. Animators will animate things on multiple different layers at multiple different speeds and paces, while other layers remain still for multiple frames. It's to save time and to add depth to the animation. Because clothes are heavier than your hair, it won't billow wildly. Or a character may move their eyes, but their heads won't turn. Or simply to make coloring and animating separate things easier. Hair alone can be split across multiple layers because you have bangs, the sides of your hair, and the back of your head. Then you may have areas where hair is obscured by a moving body part. Layer separation not only helps with timing, but there may be segments of an animation, the hair or an arm or a piece of fabric may switch from being in the foreground to the background, or vice versa. And that's when you add a blank keyframe and add a new layer to work on, foreground or background. This isn't necessarily a rule of thumb, and outliers do exist, but typically action packed animations use fewer layers, whereas cinematic animations use more. Because action animations are so fast paced and everything is moving, there's rarely going to be a single calm or stationary instance for too long in the animation. Whereas cinematic animation use design and composition principles to carry emotions like ambiance or drama. So even if it's only a few seconds long, drawing a character panting with sweat rolling down their face is going to be more extensive. All in all, it's about telling a story. using the principles and skills you have to carry what message or theme you have planned. But it's also about maintaining quality, consistency, and most of all, not doing more than what you have to. Because it's good to be passionate, many industry level animators and creators have lost their passion. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do more than what you need to. And long term, whether you're working on a project or trying to build your portfolio or social media, you're going to have to ask yourself, do I spend an extra week or month working on this one project that's already taken me a while? Or do I use the skills I have to keep the quality but finish this thing up? And it's what we ask ourselves every day. And sometimes there is no right or wrong answer, merely a choice. So use the skills, tools, and abilities at your disposal. Have a plan for your art, for what you're working on, and move forward with whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're planning, whatever it is you desire to do. Because in this journey of art, while for some an end goal is to get paid for their work, all in all, for the most part, many people pursue art simply for the love and the appreciation of creation itself. And I hope this video was able to educate you all on an aspect of animation, on an aspect of the creative process that not many people know about or have really taken the time to put a name to. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even. And I'll see you guys in my next video or live stream. Bye.